We got us a gem, folks, a diamond in the rough. We've got us here The Death and Life of Bobby Z, starring Paul Walker, Lawrence Fishburne, Olivia Wilde, and the man who played Braga in Fast Five. I don't know the man's name, I'm just going to continue to be calling him Braga. We have on the side here Echo Bridge, and the reason why I'm so surprised and excited about this film is because it is Echo Bridge releasing a film with big names like this with a decent budget. This has to be made by somebody other than Echo Bridge. Echo Bridge is an acquisition. They acquire IPs that nobody cares about, that nobody wants. They just acquire them and gobble them up, and then they distribute them on DVD and things of that nature. And that's also with SP releasing with Echo Bridge, and it's the same thing. They didn't make this film. Who made it? We have Eclectic Films, Millennium Films, and Equity Films. I'm guessing Millennium had more to do with it than the other two, but it could be Eclectic, it could be Equity. Either way, I know these guys, particularly Millennium, and they make decent enough films. Alright? So that justifies the budget, that justifies a lot of things, really. This was a wild ride, a very fun ride. But apparently it might not have high ratings, it may not have performed well in the theaters if it ever released in theaters. Maybe it was released directly to streaming. I don't know. I didn't do any research about this. I just picked this up from the dollar bin and watched it and had a lot of fun with it. Paul Walker does not play Bobby Z. He plays a man named Tim Kearney, a loser lowlife, whose only form of usefulness was joining the Marines. They trained him. He was an efficient fighter, an efficient killer. And then he got kicked out of the Marines. He became a loser, going in and out of prisons all over the country. Until one day, he kills a man in prison. A very dastardly, meanie face. I don't want to start cursing. I curse all the fucking time. I just don't have a good meanie name for him. He's just an asshole. That's a good one. He kills an asshole in prison. I don't know his name, Mad Dog. His name was Mad Dog. Mad Dog was the leader of a big prison gang across the country. He's got a lot of people outside of the fence. A big biker gang. He's not getting out. Mad Dog is not getting out. He's in there for a consecutive life sentences. He's never getting out. But he's powerful enough that he's got a big biker gang on the outside. And that after Tim Kearney kills him, the biker gang is after his head. Lawrence Fishburne pulls Tim Kearney, Paul Walker, out of prison and says, "Hey, I need you to play somebody." He shows him a picture of a man who looks like the spitting image of Tim Kearney. His name is Bobby Z. Bobby Z is the exact opposite of Tim Kearney. He's successful. He's good looking. Well, Tim Kearney was also good looking, but he also was disheveled and pretty much a lowlife at the time that he pulled him out of prison, so whatever. He was very clean shaven, he was very clean with hair, short hair, all that stuff. Well, Paul Walker's got short hair, but we'll get to that. Basically the opposite of Tim Kearney in every way. And he was also a drug dealer. Bobby Z went to Thailand and ended up in a Thailand prison of some sort, and died. But not before Lawrence Fishburne's character, who plays the FBI agent, his partner gets captured by Braga, and Lawrence Fishburne arranges an exchange, Bobby Z, for Lawrence Fishburne's partner. Well, the problem is, Bobby Z seems to be dead. At least that's what Lawrence Fishburne tells Tim Kearney. So he's got to become Bobby Z so that he could successfully make an exchange. And if Paul Walker manages to escape from Braga's clutches, he gets to walk free. Because Tim Kearney, as far as the prison system is concerned, is dead. So he becomes Bobby Z. He learns all of Bobby Z's likes, he learns all of his mannerisms, he cuts his hair to Bobby Z's length, and he basically becomes Bobby Z. At the exchange, however, Lawrence Fishburne tries to shoot Tim Kearney, who I'm just going to start calling Paul Walker from now on. Lawrence Fishburne shoots Paul Walker, but Paul Walker just miraculously trips over a railroad spike and falls to the ground, and the shot misses. Suddenly, a shootout between Braga's men and Lawrence Fishburne breaks out, where Lawrence Fishburne's partner ends up dying. Our man Paul Walker gets picked up by Braga's men and is shipped off to Braga's mansion. Braga's off on a business deal currently, and he'll be back in a couple days. So now Paul Walker, Bobby Z, has to acclimate to Bobby Z's surroundings, learning all the mannerisms, trying to remember who everybody is, and keeping that incognito stuff, disguise, and all that crap going on. And there he meets Olivia Wilde, who plays the character of Elizabeth, the best friend of Braga's daughter, who seems to be gone. Now, Baba Z, Paul Walker, has a affinity towards our dear Olivia Wilde, and he wants to get to know her. Olivia Wilde recognizes that he is not Bobby Z because, Olivia Wilde has slept with Bobby Z, obviously. So Olivia Wilde knows that this guy is an imposter, but she doesn't out him for some reason. She's got ulterior motives. They still sleep together. And then we find out that the child that was hanging out with Olivia Wilde ends up being the son of Bobby Z, who Paul Walker is impersonating. And Paul Walker basically assumes fathership of the kid for some reason. I don't know. Tim Kearney is a loser, but Bobby Z is also a loser in some ways. He's a loser in love. Tim Kearney probably was just missing love, and he found it. The kid follows him everywhere because he thinks that he, being Bobby Z, is his dad, which obviously is his dad, but he's Tim Kearney, and Tim Kearney is not the kid's dad, but you know what I mean. So the kid follows Bobby Z, Paul Walker, as he escapes the facility after Olivia Wilde tells him that as soon as Braga gets back, he's going to shoot him, kill him, because Bobby Z's partner, Monk, has ripped off Braga millions of dollars. So now, Paul Walker, Bobby Z, has to hunt down Monk, get the money from Monk, take the kid and the girl, Olivia Wilde, and get out of the country. Along the way, he ends up killing Braga and all of Braga's men, and most of the biker gang. He ends up being confronted in the finality of the film on a bridge of some sort. Two biker gangs on either side, all thinking he's Tim Kearney. And then Lawrence Fishburne drives up with the real Bobby Z. He's not dead for some reason. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Paul Walker, seeing his out, points to Bobby Z, the real Bobby Z, and says, "That's Tim Kearney. I'm Bobby Z." And the biker gang is getting all confused. The real Bobby Z says, "No, that's Tim Kearney. I'm Bobby Z." And Lawrence Fishburne says, "He's Bobby Z, and that's Tim Kearney." Suddenly, the kid, Bobby Z's kid, points to Paul Walker and says, "Dad, come on, get on the boat, jump off the bridge, we're getting out of here." And the biker gang says, "Tim Kearney doesn't have a kid!" And they all aim their guns at the real Bobby Z and pepper him full of holes. Lawrence Fishburne gets upset at that, and he starts firing back, and then he gets peppered full of holes. With his dying breath, he looks at Paul Walker, who has assumed the identity of Bobby Z now, and says, "Outdone by a lowlife," and he falls dead. And now Paul Walker, impersonating Bobby Z, jumps off the bridge and gets out of there before the cops arrive. For all intents and purposes, Tim Kearney has been wiped off the map. He doesn't exist anymore. Bobby Z is also dead. He doesn't exist anymore. Paul Walker gets out of there with Monk's money that he stole from Braga, who is now dead. The girl, who is also presumed dead. And the kid, who is the son, illegitimately, of Bobby Z, who is also dead, and is now being looked after by Tim Kearney, who is now Bobby Z. Confused yet? Man, this is a wild ride. But let's talk about Paul Walker, and Lawrence Fishburne's little plan with the real Bobby Z. So apparently the real Bobby Z knew that Monk stole millions of dollars from Braga, and he was going to frame Monk and Tim Kearney and presume his fakest death by using Tim Kearney here as the body for Bobby Z, so that he could get the money from Monk. Monk being Bobby Z's partner, whatever. So they take the money from Monk. He was going to take the money from Monk, split it, give some to Lawrence Fishburne, and he was going to get out of the country. That was their plan. But here, Tim Kearney, a loser, manages to outthink and outsmart everybody around him. He gets Braga killed. He gets Lawrence Fishburne killed. He gets the real Bobby Z killed. Man, that was so much fun to watch. And then he gets out of there with Olivia Wilde. And Bobby Z, the real Bobby Z's kid, who the real Bobby Z wouldn't have given a crap about. But Paul Walker, Tim Kearney, impersonating Bobby Z, he cares about the kid. He cares about Olivia Wilde. And the three of them are off on Monk's boat with Bobby Z, the real Bobby Z's millions of dollars. An excellent caper. An excellent film. I highly recommend you watch it because it is highly imaginative.